Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto market. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss crypto's rebound after a weekend sell-off. We're going to talk about Trump's new utility token and Tom Lee continuing to ape Ethereum with BitMine immersion. I'm joined by my panelists today. We have Easy East Bodega, we have Choose Rich Nick, and we have Signal. Signal, it's been a week. How you feeling? How have you been living?
Been living good, Ray. Been living good. I'm in a new witness protection location. Should be pretty hard to figure out where I am unless I tell you. But no, it's been good. I liked Friday's sell-off. I picked up a bit of stocks, actually. I bought Coinbase because it was such a harsh sell-off. I thought Friday was really interesting because we had pretty bullish news from some of the largest corporates in terms of earnings. If you looked at Meta, if you looked at strategy. So you would think that coming out, sorry, that was on Thursday. And then going into Friday, you would think that the market should be like pushing up. And what we got was completely opposite news on the tariff side. So we saw a really strong sell-off. And I was just looking at some plays and I thought Coinbase looked really interesting. It was down like 16-17% on the day. So I picked some up there. Also picked up some crypto, some more towards the end of the week. I loaded up more on Rect because I thought that looked really nice under 400. So it's been good. I just sort of waited out this period. I was looking at the timeline for just overall sentiment, and it definitely felt as if there were some people like D Farmer who were like, perps, I'm going to wait, I'm going to swing trade this. But then on the other side, all people are like, it's over, it's the top, that was it. I don't believe it is. I think this is just the August funnies happening. And I think September we'll see a turnaround, but most probably likely towards mid-September.
Yeah, I mean, I was away this weekend, and the dip, like it felt like crypto Twitter was like panicking that the world was over almost, and it was like Bitcoin at like 113 or 112, and I was with like just normies, and they were like, "Oh, Bitcoin's still over 100,000? Like that's down? How high did it go?" So it's like it's kind of wild to see people like overreact that we were going to like zero over the weekend, when in reality it didn't seem like much of a pullback.
Ray, you're missing the key elements of what Signal said there, though. She said that she's in an undisclosed location, but she has the window visible. So you can actually start to deduce some core clues about the location of Signal at this moment in time. Also, directly next to the window, the light is hitting you spectacularly. Let me just add
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
Add
That's
that
what
note.
that's what Euro Summer does to you.
Okay,
No,
so we
as you
did
know,
narrow. It is in Europe. Okay, so
it's in Europe. It's in
we
Europe.
we it's common to find, or it's more common to find that angled attic based room window that's slightly ajar at this moment in time. There's also a grass field behind you which narrows down the location as well.
Well, as you know, when it gets hot in Europe, nobody has air conditioning, so you need to go to nature's air conditioning.
Mhm.
So I would just say this: I'm not in a city. Da, da, da. So it's not exactly groundbreaking news, but yeah, no. So going back to the markets because it's really not very interesting where I am. Going back to the markets, I think this is a really nice dip. Honestly, I
Definitely
think
countryside.
we're still in a bull uptrend. We're still in the bull uptrend, and I think if you have conviction on certain tokens and you're seeing them have a bit of a pullback, this is still a nice time to accumulate. I don't know if we're going to talk about this later, Ray, but like one of the things that I've been finding like pretty concerning is Trump's like continuous attack on people in his administration or what like in government roles who don't align to how he wants his policies to go. So we just saw the recent firing of, I think it's a woman who is the person who came out with the labor statistics, the US labor statistics. She got fired because essentially she didn't write good numbers. And then we're also seeing the attack on Powell as well, even though he's going to end his term in May. But it's just like, I think the message I'm seeing here and the dots that are slowly being connected is that the US markets under Trump are unpredictable and you can't rely on certain sort of key decisions, such as institutions not being attacked for the numbers that are coming out. So trust has been broken there. And I think if we continue to see that, you're going to see a lot more volatility in the markets over the next 6 to 12 months.
You guys are overthinking this, man. Eric Trump tweeted buy the dip.
Oh no, buy the dip. Oh,
That's it.
100%. No,
The guy's
I'm
an
not saying
insider.
that.
It's two for
I'm
two
not
now.
saying, like,
I'll buy the dip.
2 for
I'm not
2.
saying, yeah.
Granted, the first one, we saw a 35% drawdown before.
What are we
it went
talking about? 2 for 2.
up. Throw it on the chart next.
Is it
What
up since
happened?
both times he said it?
What's happened, man? He's
It
tweeted
wasn't
buy
up.
the dip. The first time it went down 63.4% before it went up. But this time, he Pico bottomed it. Pico bottom. Like, I'm talking like wick low. Did well. Did well. Did well.
Izzy, by the way, like, I'm really not overthinking this. It is buy the dip. I 100% agree with you. But like medium to long term, if we keep seeing Trump just replace key people in government positions and him saying, I'm going to fire US Bureau of Labor Statistics, I'm going to fire Powell, even though his term's coming to an end in May, but he keeps doing this across key figures. The markets don't like that. And so you're going to see more volatility in the medium to long term. That's what I'm saying. But like today, buy the dip. Yeah.
What you're saying is like just the core of it is uncertainty. Like it's always uncertainty. The market does not like uncertainty. When rumors are flying that Powell was going to get ousted, uncertainty, sell off. When you have this news dropping this weekend about tariffs coming back and a surprise increase of tariffs and Canada getting a tariff after a trade deal, uncertainty. You just got to this morning, we got a push from who did it come from? Oh man, Hassett said that everyone should believe tariffs are going to be resolved this month. So now we're basically pricing that in. After the FOMC and the terrible job numbers, the market hated the uncertainty after FOMC because Powell was pretty hawkish, saying we don't know about a September cut. Job numbers get revised to what's worse than a recession number, by the way. Like recession numbers had more increase in jobs than we had from the last 2 months. Now the market's like, okay, like you have to cut. Like you won't say the word, but the metrics and data are all showing that it's a dumpster fire. So that is what led to, quote, this certainty now that we went from cuts in September, Trump pushing it hard, to Powell saying no cuts, nothing's going to happen, to now cuts are back on the table and tariffs are going to get resolved. So it's kind of just like the market, what they thought would happen would be resolve tariffs, job data bad, September cuts, and ultimately print money. And now it seems like, okay, we are on track for that, despite the FOMC meeting leading to that uncertainty. It's a long-winded way of saying the market hates uncertainty, and now we have certainty again. So prices are grinding back up.
Sorry, Easy. I don't agree that we're going to get a tariff. I don't agree that we're going to get a cut in September simply because Powell waits for the data to come through. And if we keep getting this tariff play that Trump is doing, it's a key inflationary shock. So the only people who want tariff cuts are the people on the timeline, so the bags will go up. But if you just look at like economics 101, why would Powell cut interest rates when you have a strong inflationary shock potentially coming and he looks at lag data? I don't see any reason why he would cut in September.
Well, because the jobs data is bad is the main argument for it. But and
it's so bad though. It's not just bad, Nick. It is so bad that it makes the 08 recession look good. That's the difference. Is it is lower than the 08 recession numbers. So people were like, "Oh shit!" Like revising 250,000 jobs to the downside is like unheard of. The other thing too to look at is if you look at FedWatch and also Polymarket is obviously the pseudo bet to FedWatch. Both are pricing in a September cut now. It went from a low of 35% that there would be a cut. We're now sitting at 72%. And I know some people don't believe Polymarket as a source of truth, but FedWatch has us at a 68%.
But also as well, if you actually look at those job numbers, a lot of those cuts came from government employees losing their jobs, which was the whole point of Doge, was to make the whole government functioning more efficient. So it's like there's lots of ways of looking at those job numbers rather than just looking at the headline figure. And so I think, like, first of all, we're going to get new numbers coming out because he's going to appoint somebody in the next 3 days or so who will be the new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And then secondly, it's like looking at who actually lost their job because they fired a whole bunch of people, so the job numbers would come down. So I feel like the data is a little bit the message around the data is a little bit conflicting.
I have no idea. I'm just swing trading frickin' Solana at this moment on leverage on Hyperliquid. That's what I'm doing, and it's
Look, I should have given you my ref, dude. I should have given you my
complete
ref.
gambling. I've paid $2,000 in fees in the past 48 hours, basically, which I realized, like, I was looking at this, I'm up $200, but the whole thing is absolutely ludicrous. I've traded $700,000 of volume, and I'm up $114.
That's the type of shit we talking about, Nick. That's what I'm done like 84 mil, and I can tell you we haven't cracked a mil in profit yet.
These fees are insane, dude. Like, I think it's so expensive to trade with this. If they cut the fees by 50%, then it would get very interesting here.
What's crazy is their fees are one of the better perp fees comparatively. Like, their fees are really good right now is the difference. The only one you can make a somewhat argument against or for would be Coinbase, which their perps are like sort of in line up to a certain number threshold. Real quick though, the stuff that Nick you're trading here, when you and me were texting, I think it was Friday night, we were going to war over 160.
Saturday.
159. Saturday. Going to war. I was after we took the troops to battle to see if we could break the 159 wall together. I zoomed out and I was just like, oh wait, like this chart is like still wildly bullish. Like if I went to like the 4 hour in one day and I was like, oh, that dip was just a higher low. Like we have not broken structure on any of these charts, whether it's Bitcoin, Sol, ETH, all of these are still higher lows. So like the timeline was, myself included, was just kind of having some fun. At least I was yapping that it was all over, but all these charts don't look bad. Like we ran so hard that this pullback still has us in like a very aggressive uptrend.
Yeah, and I think actually we could be breaking in the next well, I've been trading like 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts. It's absolutely ludicrous. I've been doing entries on the 5-minute. What is the rule? Isn't it like the inverse? You enter on the. Do you enter on the broader one or on the short? Or you
enter
look
on
for your thesis on the higher time frame? Sorry, what?
You look for confirmation on 4 hour, 1 hour, 1 day, and you cut on the 5/15s.
Okay.
You can usually find like. What'd you say?
You cut or you enter?
You enter on higher time frames. You wait for closes over key thresholds on like 4 hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever your setup is. Lower time frames
on lower time.
Yeah, because you can see turns quicker on smaller stuff.
Well, I've been entering and exiting on the shorter time frames, and let me tell you, it's fun. It's like a video game, basically. I've been jotting down notes as I've been going through the process, just because it's kind of like wild. But this is better. It feels better than like meme coin trading, primarily because you know that meme coins are a bunch of bullshit, basically. But with these other tokens that you're trading, Solana, Bitcoin, basically any of the majors, ETH, you know that there's at least some level of sustainability to them. And so it feels like more legitimate and it feels like more mature, but you can't get the same access with some of these, with meme coins and things like that, where the volume is far less. If you take a look at like the number of people that have made over $100,000 in the past 24 hours on Hyperliquid, it's like 1,000 people or more, basically. If you look for the same number that have made that much in the meme coin market in the past 24 hours, it's basically close to, it's either 0 or like less than 10, basically. So there's no, it's just a completely different space. And so I've been just watching that. Now, obviously, the majority of my portfolio is not sitting in leveraged trades on Hyperliquid. At any given moment, the size of my trade is no more than $5,000, but levered 20x. So you're trading, you're trading $100,000 at any given moment, and all it costs is $50 to enter and $50 to exit. So you need to make $100, which would be what 1/10%? Is it 1%? What is that?
1%.
Out of 100? No. 1% would be $1,000.
$100.
So it'd be 0.1% that you need to cover the cost of, basically. So you're looking for greater than a 0.1% move in the direction that you're aiming for. And a lot of the wins I've been looking for are in the realm of around 5 to 10%. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping for 20% swings, but as I'm on the 5-minute chart, I'm coming to the reality that you just can't do that. Like, there's no way you're on the 5-minute chart and the chart immediately goes between the two ranges that you were aiming for a 20% gain or something like that. That's just like an unreasonable expectation, because that's just not the way that price action happens. But you're muted, Ray.
If you're really smart, Nick, you hit one of those like pump, like we did live on the air earlier last week, where we had this absurd crime candle mid-show while being long on it.
Yeah. I mean, you can get I'll pull up one of the charts that or my trading from the past 24 hours. You can see. So I've been thinking the same thing. Blanco said that, and that's how Nick lost it all. I've been thinking the same. I was texting Easy last night. I was like, by the end of this year, your boy's gonna have $1 billion, obviously. But what was really fun is I was texting with Easy like we were in the trenches, like legitimately in the battle of the trenches the other night. It's like Saturday night. Clearly, neither of us are doing anything. Well, I don't know what Easy was doing, but I can speak for myself. I'm at my computer. I'd been cleaning my apartment, basically. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit of trading. So I sit down at the computer, and basically there was this range that was happening. I have the chart pulled up right now, where basically it would test this level that I have arbitrarily drawn, 162.12. This is on the 5-minute, mind you, so it looks quite dynamic, but this is a 5-minute chart. If you zoom out, it's like not as exciting. But basically what I saw was we kept testing this level, failing, testing, failing, testing, failing, testing, failing, and eventually you're going to break out. Like, that's just the way that those moves end up happening. I bought one of the breakouts and lost on it, but then had I bought the next one, I actually would have been right, but I went to bed. And so the thesis, I was like, okay, well, the thesis was right.
Time out. All right, so you went to bed on that red cell, and then you woke up about 45 minutes later in bed and bought again?
No, this is, oh, sorry. No. This was yesterday afternoon. No, sorry. I'd missed the earlier battle. Look at this battle. Just got chopped.
The earlier battle?
No. This was the battle of 159.
That was me and Nick texting.
That's
when
we were
rally
texting.
the troops.
Anyone just listening on Spaces, Nick has 1 million buy and sells within like a 1 hour period.
Well, I had just started trading perps on Hyperliquid, so I got really excited, and I was like, okay, I'm going all in. I'm going to try this out, basically. And as I went through that, I was like, okay, I'm getting chopped. I have money on, like, I have like 50 grand on Hyperliquid, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go learn how to like trade in this space. Basically, I love doing the charts, but I've never traded on my own charting. Basically, I usually just buy and hold is the majority of my portfolio. So I'm looking for long-term entries is how I've been actually doing it. So then yesterday, I'm like, okay, I'm going to come back, and I see a similar chart where we've tested. I'm like, dude, I text Easy. I'm like, it looks like this is going to break. So I buy on the breakout, and I'm looking for a break above. We had this. Sorry for those listening on audio. This is not as exciting. Apologies. But basically, we had this like level that it had progressively was losing against, and we broke above. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to buy this. And in this first case, it ended up being a losing entry. I go off and do errands, and I come back and I text Easy. We're down here, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, I lost. I wasn't looking at the chart. I missed the opportunity, basically. We broke out, and it almost does a retest, basically, which is what we got here, and it fails. But like, I actually would have, if I was up at this time, I would have probably bought. But so I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll go for a late entry. I'm breaking all my rules, and I end up making money. I make like a few $100s. I think I made $600 on this trade. And so then I was like, okay, well, this is actually interesting. I think there is some approach to doing the swing trading side of things, but you have to be like insanely disciplined. And the biggest risk that you run into is that you need to wait for your levels is the other thing that you just have to do, because if you violate that, you're going to get chopped in the mid range, basically, is what ends up happening. And you're just looking for these like opportunities, which is what happened the other night. You see me just getting like, I mean, this was ridiculous. The number of trades that I had was
Wait, so Nick, can I just ask, on all those like green and red dots, are you paying $50 for every green and every red?
Yes, this is where I spent $1,000 worth of fees.
So how did you like, and this is a genuine question, how did you actually come out in profit if you only made 600 but you paid 1,000 in fees?
Well, I didn't just make 600. I made 95, 521, 224, 29 was a win. Huge loss on this one. But I went and looked over 24 hours. Oh, sorry, that actually goes back to an older one. I took a loss on a longer term thing, so that's actually not accurate on my trading. So I made almost, look, it looks like 750, 850. I made $850 back. Oh no, in a 614. So 1,400. I made $1,400 and lost 1,250. These earlier ones, I mean, I was down bad up until this moment, but I've had a little, like, I'm obviously not going as aggressive, and I didn't realize I was paying $50 fees at this point in time. I was just kind of messing around, and then saw, oh, I'm eating it. Had a there were some wins in this, but it was pretty wild just watching this. And it's also just interesting to see the way that the price moves on these charts. Like if you just watch for a period of time, it's interesting just seeing how it like there's very clear price levels that everybody is watching on the short-term time frame. Like that is how it's playing out. And so you can see those levels again and again and again. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's that if you're looking for trading, I wouldn't be trading on meme coins. Like meme coins is not where you do any sort of like day trading because it's so volatile. I would do if you have inside information, then meme coins are very good. If you have a higher time frame thesis, then meme coins are interesting, like Fartcoin, for example. If you're like, hey, I want exposure in these higher risk endpoints like Fartcoin, I've been holding that for a long period of time, basically fully retraced my gain. But I still am holding because I think that over the longer term that goes up. But that's that portion of the portfolio. For trading, I don't think that market is a good idea to be operating in because you're going to get chopped to hell. And instead, you can use something like this. And if you really want leverage, and you can trade with smaller amounts and see what happens. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, someone says fees are 50 because of size. Yeah, that was because I was spending $5,000, and I'm spending $5,000 and looking for $500 to $1,500 wins, which is maybe ludicrous. And I wanted to talk with Easy later to understand what win size he's going for on his swing trades.
It's around the same. We use around the same. Like I go in for about 5K margin, and I'll look for like 1K profit.
But what's your win rate?
Decently high. I mean, I don't make nearly as many trades as you.
But what's decently high? 50%?
A little higher because I have the same stops on that too. It's also like I'm very quick to cut a trade because I do like lower time frames. So I'll cut something that's down like $250, $300, like very quick.
The biggest thing, well, that's the difficult thing. So the losses that I'm getting, so imagine every trade you're losing $100. On the losses, you're also going to lose $200 to $300 on the trade. So the whole trade, you're losing $400. So let's say you have 4 trades and you've lost, and you lose all of them. That would be $1,600. Half of that would be $800. So 50% you win and 50% you lose. You're down $800. You need the other 50% to gain more than $800. But that's like it's not that easy. And so then I wonder,
If it
like,
was
should
easy
you
though,
go?
everyone would do it. Like that's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's not easy. The bigger thing here is like stick to a strategy, have a set strategy, trade less. Truthfully, like dude, if you can make $1,000 a week, you're making 52K a year. Like the one thing I've learned with perps over time is like stick to a daily strategy, stick to a weekly strategy. If you hit those goals, stop trading. Like stop trading. Like the
Also,
biggest thing.
sorry, easy. Can I just insert, but it's like newbie observation here, but also wouldn't like reducing leverage help you as well, Nick? So you don't have to, if we're sort of doing 20 because you're starting out, wouldn't it make more sense
Yeah.
to do it slightly lower, and then you won't have so much volatility and have to cut these positions so quickly?
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's not that simple actually, because basically your fee is still relative to the position size. So like if we're still speaking in the same percentages, but yes, you're right. Like I was thinking about that. Like if I want to spend more time learning, it would be smarter to reduce the position size just to practice essentially on smaller position sizes, but you're still going for the same percentage swings because like that's just the way that the fee structure ends up cutting. So I think that's the main like you're still looking for the same gain loss percentage. It's yeah. If the fees were lower, it'd be really interesting. We have an incredible candle happening right now that I'm jealous of.
Yeah. S&P
I'm
market
not-
open, gap up. Looks good.
I'm
Sol
not
looks good
positioned
here.
for.
Sol looks good here. Comparatively, look at ETH, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's showing like a little bit of weakness. Bitcoin dominance still coming down. Dollar dropping here. ETH also looks pretty good. Sol's leading the pack though.
Sorry, how is Bitcoin looking good? Oh,
No, I'm
Solana's
saying
looking good.
Bitcoin looks weak. ETH looks good here.
Got it.
The
hold on.
dollar looks weak.
See, this candle is like, this is where, so I made last night a move in this range, but I wrote down a note to myself never to do it because you're not buying into your levels. But the I'm at any given moment looking for the next level that we're battling. Question, do you tend to see this play out more often than not when it comes to price action?
Yes.
Like
The other thing I look for on that, Nick, what I like to see, go back to that previous range. Look at those downsides. Each one is higher. So you have these higher lows on the lower time frame, which usually can indicate that you'll break above. So right there, even if you go back a little bit further, you can see it even lower too, which shows that buyers are stepping in sooner and sooner each time, and then you get that break above. So like if you have these lines drawn, some like basic TA is to just watch for lower highs or lower lows or higher highs and higher lows, which you got on that rally against that price action. And as it consolidates, it finally broke above, which you could have basically taken a look at any of those, seen the lower high, look at the volume candles below, and you're seeing volume start to increase on some of those buys, like those failed attempts.
Mhm.
When you have that, it's like usually a good indication that, okay, it does seem like buyers are present. Now let's see if they can finally push it above, where that is a better risk reward to go long. Same on the sell side. You have lower highs, lower lows, volume increasing on some of those attempts shows that sellers are stepping in. So like even right there.
It was rejected off of that that candle.
What's that?
It just rejected on that 5-minute candle on the ETH side.
Yeah, but look at the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin sold off way harder.
I'm sorry to
actually just
people
made a
who
lower-
are I'm sorry to people who are listening because this isn't interesting to listen to chart analysis. But
If you are listening, I just shared the link to the YouTube. Hop on and watch us on YouTube.
Bitcoin made a lower low and has lower highs here on the lower time frame.
yeah, well, the main thing that I'd be actually, this one's interesting. This almost would have been a buy for me because I would be looking at somewhere around here, and so this level is actually very interesting. The thing that I would also look for associated with this is a break above that. But this is, I don't know, this looks like actually an interesting entry here.
I mean, right now is like we're actually in a zone for me that if Sol closes a 4-hour candle above this, I'm looking for a run back up to like 170.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like for my longer term trades, I like the higher time frames. Like I would like a 4-hour close, which would be 12 p.m. EST, a close here over 163.5. If that candle can close, I would set buy orders on the retest of 163.5 for a move up.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, what are you? Which numbers are you talking about?
Solana 163.5 is.
Oh, look at this. We are breaking above this thing. So I went back to earlier points at which we hit this level, which is where I draw these lines from. As I go back to historical levels and I see, okay, this level played out. Okay, this played out again. Right now, I'd expect a drop off of this. Once this candle closes, this almost would be. I don't want to short in an up market, but this almost feels like a short-term potential swing. I'd wait to see if you get a break above this level. But yeah, Solana looks very good here. Bitcoin, not yet as good. You said ETH is looking good. ETH looks very good. Wow. Look at this.
Yeah, ETH looks good. And I mean, if you zoom out, ETH, that candle was still a higher low. Like now we just got to see if we can get the higher
high. This is close to a level. Yeah, this is very interesting. This one's the most promising for a potential entry, honestly. Anyways, yeah, so I've just been looking at these and I'm like, you know what? I'll experiment with this if my total portfolio loss is like, I don't know. Like I'm willing to risk a couple $1,000s just to see, like, kind of experiment with this trading. But I'm not going, my wins are limited as well. So that's like the main thing with all this. Anywho, we didn't do the weather report. You want to do that, Ray?
Speaking of taking high leverage trades, this show is brought to you in partnership with our friends over at YEET. YEET, hit them up. We love YEET. Check them out. Crypto Casino. Right now, they just started a huge event. It's called the Built for Big Moments. It's going to be a streamer tournament as well as a player event. I'm just going to go out here without company permission and say, if we win this tournament, we are going to be funneling a good chunk of this money back into buying Bodoggos. So support us by going to bodoggos.com/yeet. Sign up. We're competing against Wizard of Soho in the first round. So people who use our link to sign up, you're going to be earning points for the Bodoggos. And we're going to be competing in this bracket style tournament. We'll be playing the winner of Michael and Jersey if we can manage to knock off Wiz. Some other big contestants here. We have FOMO Hour, Rect Radio. We have the boys over at Modern Market as well. But I'm hoping that the Bodoggos can take down this tournament. Easy. You've been playing with YEET. You've been partnering with YEET for a while. What can you tell us about YEET?
I mean, from a standpoint of all things casino related, it's definitely up there. If you are an active market user of the casino meta, I would say it's certainly the place to be. They have an airdrop coming, which they've stated. So I think that's something to absolutely look out for. They do a bunch of stuff, though. Poker tournaments. Ben Lamb is on the team, co-founder as well, who's a World Series of Poker winner. So they do have a ton of experience in that front. KBM is obviously on the team as well. Huge sports gambler. Gets into it all. I just love the team. Like Mando, KBM, and Lamb are just great people. And I do think this will be one of the more surprising airdrops that we get. So I'm a very big fan of it. Go to bodoggos.com/yeet and give us your support, please. We got to win. Because if we win, you heard it from Ray, we're going to be funneling those funds back into the Bodoggos.
Yep.
Oh, man, I feel... Sorry, Ray, I feel easy. I hope you're going to be heading the account so it's you against Wiz. I feel like you just drew like Nadal in the first round if anyone's in tennis. Like you turn up to Wimbledon and you're so excited, first round competition, and you basically get last year's winner. That's a strong contender, but like easy if it's you, I'm in your corner. I think you've got this one.
We need it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Ben Wong, it just started this morning, this tournament. So a lot of these people don't have any volume coming in underneath their different groups. So our group's pretty good. We added a lot of people when we had our giveaway on Friday. Gave away $5,000. We're gonna be doing more cash giveaways as well. So if you sign up and do volume on the platform, you're going to be earning cash as well through our giveaways. They also have a monthly tournament with this. Like Easy said, a lot of people are farming the airdrop. People are finding ways to do it in ways that are close to like finding like the best odds on games. So I'll let you explore and figure out which ways you can do the most volume with different odds on games. I'm not gonna break that news here, but different people have been having some success with their strategy of climbing the leaderboards without spending a ton of capital. There's also room for streamers. If you're clipping any clips from streams, you can earn some money. Weekly multipliers, more and more coming out of the team. They just eclipsed $30 million a day in single day volume as well. So like they are one of the first crypto casinos to hit that mark, like in terms of since they launched. So they are having a ton of success for this casino. So I think that there's been a lot of speculation this could be one of the bigger airdrops you see for a crypto casino. So get involved, bodogos.com/ETH. Earn some money for our community. Earn some money for Berdogos, earn some money for yourself, maybe a future airdrop. That being said, I mean, we're late in the show, but we can still knock off a little weather report to keep people updated with the news. How about that, Sig?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you always want to know the weather. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. You're looking at the weather apps. Let's get into the crypto weather report. It's Monday, August 4th. Looking at that crypto roundup, it has bounced back over the weekend with the majors all green over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin is back over 114. Ethereum is at 3,560 and Solana is at 163. So levels are looking good. Over the weekend, firstly, Trump Media has revealed plans for a utility token in SEC filing. The filing stated that the token will be part of a larger rewards program integrated into the Truth digital wallet, initially allowing users to pay for the Truth Plus subscription. The Trump meme coin, though, is down 14% on the week. Unsurprisingly, tokens just popping out of that ecosystem. Next up, Tom Lee's Bitwise Immersion has acquired another 200K of Ethereum, bringing their total holdings to over 800,000 of ETH, or just under 3 billion. BMNR is up 1% during the pre-market trading. And lastly, ETH ETF flows experienced their first day of net outflows in over 1 month, as the ETFs lost 152 million on Friday. Obviously, it had to come to an end. However, they continue their 12-week streak of net inflows after notching 154 million on the week. That is all for the weather report. It is back to you folks in the studio.
Excellent weather report as always, Signal, keeping us up to date on all that is going on. All right, we did a good amount of leverage trading on Hyperliquid. A couple things I did want to talk about.
Actively looking at a trade.
Is he? I opened up an ETH long right before the show.
What are you in, Nick?
ETH.
I'm long Hyperliquid here.
We're just a team of degenerates now. Just constantly.
I'm long Hyperliquid.
There you go. Look at this. Boom. This is right before we started the show today.
I mean, dude, this Bitcoin candle looks good. This Bitcoin candle looks good. S&P looks good. Dollar looks like shit. Bitcoin caught up. Sol leading this charge was the most surprising thing.
You're doing a 5K swing here on Hyperliquid?
I bought 1,500 hype. Like I kind of like the round numbers. So if hype goes up $1, it's a $1,500 profit.
What's your target?
$600. 40.
$40?
Yeah, for short term. I think Hyperliquid like was oversold pretty substantially comparatively. They had some fudder on the outages. Obviously, I was probably one of the leading fudders on the timeline, despite having massive exposure, both spot and doing $83 million of volume in the last 14 days. So as an active user, I was just yapping for the impressions. But no, I think dude, look at the Hyperliquid chart. It's lagged so much comparatively. Look at ETH, look at Sol, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's breaking out of this channel too, by the way. It looks good. Like it
all looks good. I'm in.
Yeah.
I joined you on your Hyperliquid trade. And
that
and
chart
I'm
just
in
looks
ETH.
like it's lagging. The other chart I like, and this is so purely if you want my my alt plays right now, I'm taking an approach called the SHAT approach. SHAT, SHAT.
Yeah, I saw your tweet.
I think those
I'm
four
sure
are
you
gonna
really were excited by that one. Really
that
excited
one
by
made me
that
excited.
chart.
I'm not
That's
excited by the
hilarious.
ton price action though. Ton's down 7% today.
Wait, Easy, you going to tell us what this amazing mnemonic stands for? I missed the tweet.
SWE, Hyperliquid, AVAX, Ton. The big four. Those are my like alt exposures. People are like, why aren't you buying Sol? I don't really group Sol as much of like a true alt anymore because it has the ETF applications. Grayscale's got its fund for it, its trust, whatever it is. I look more now as like I kind of group that with ETH, Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin leads, but like closer to some of those majors, which is like where my head goes for it.
You need
Also,
to add
Bitcoin
rect
rejected
in there. You need to add rect in there. I'm sorry, Easy,
Yeah,
but
I
you
think
really
rect
do.
is
It's going to, you might have to like rejig the letters a little bit so you come up with a new word, but you need to have rect in there. It has been so
You add
resilient. I was
add
watching
rect
it
in
this
there.
weekend.
You'll have Sharp.
yeah, sharp.
It's been bloody
All
resilient.
right, guys,
that coin.
I'm
I was
out on
watching it
that
over the
note.
weekend.
I like rect. I like rect. I mean, it's the most resilient coin by like a mile. Thing just has not wanted to go down.
100%.
dude.
All
These
those
crypto
dips,
candles, by the way,
under
holy
400
shit.
getting.
I understand the outages, but like I was just looking at the revenues for Hyperliquid. They continue to hit new weekly, new monthly highs. Like July's monthly high, $86 million in revenue after 58 million in June, and we saw price action in July kind of be the Pico top. It just seems that it's just mispriced. Like I don't know why. Like I'm seeing maybe some speculation that like there's gonna be regulatory capture with like Robinhood and Coinbase, like having close connections with the U.S. government that they could say like, okay, well, we want to be taking over like perps volume on crypto, and Hyperliquid is acting as, I guess, a like unregistered broker in the United States, essentially, even though they don't have operations in the United States. But
I mean, the fact
revenue
that we're actively on Hyperliquid is questionable.
Well, I mean, I was in Mexico before the show when I put the long in. I didn't open anything.
I think I'm
once.
in Mexico
in
right
Germany
now.
right now.
I'm coming to you live from Mexico. I am in Mexico right now. There is no doubt in
I
my
used to
mind.
go live from Mexico, but I'd leave the VPN on, and every website I'd open would be in Spanish, so it got a little difficult for me to navigate the internet.
Versus German?
Yeah, Deutsch.
Okay. Well, that's good stuff.
Deutsch. Schnitzel.
Moving on from Hype, another token that caught my eye over the weekend. I don't know if you guys talked about this one on Friday, but Fartcoin dropping below 1 billion. I'm curious if you guys think this is dead here, or is this potentially a buy? This is a huge dip from a local high of 1.7 billion all the way down to almost breaking below 900 million on Fartcoin.
I think that looks like an interesting entry opportunity.
I mean, didn't set a new low here.
I mean, that chart looks almost perfect. Just draw the line, Ray. Draw the horizontal ray. No, that's not the horizontal ray.
What do you want? You want a horizontal line, and you want it right
Yes.
here?
Yeah. Look at that. That's nice, dude. I mean, that looks perfect. Very interesting to me.
Fartcoin's on Hyperliquid, right?
Oh yeah, spot and perps.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm not gonna trade perps on Fartcoin personally, but that's very
So
interesting.
my thought though is just move it to spot and buy spot there. You still get accounted for volume for the next airdrop from Hyperliquid.
So you're buying spot Fartcoin here. Are you looking for a close somewhere around the 1.5 bill area?
Truthfully, I would just
you're
hold.
buying it for 2 to 3 billion.
Yeah, because dude, if Sparkcoin breaks 1.6 bill, that's like my line in the sand. This thing goes back to all time high. 1.6 is the level. Break that, we go all time high.
You don't swing trade the meme coins, Ray.
You buy and hold the meme coins, swing trade the majors. Got it. This is your financial advice brought to you by Bodagos. 1.6 all the way back up to 2.6 all-time high. Interesting. So you're looking at like a 3x essentially off this level, is what you're hoping for. Spot Fartcoin. Yeah, this one got absolutely destroyed, more so than anything else over the weekend when I was kind of looking at
this comment. Someone says, by the way, Bodagos pumped it. Did it?
Bodagos pumped?
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention, honestly.
People buying Bodagos?
Missed that.
Nick, your video on the floor bot had me dying.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Looking good here.
Not on the 5 minute. Oh, the floor on
Bodagos on the 5 minute?
Yeah, this is looking good. Dude, you got to mute yourself when you're typing, man.
Nick, you know you're looking for that 4x last week. Yeah, easy with the typing. Shh. You know you're looking for that 4x last week, right? Aside from Bodagos, did you ever make a decision on that, on what NFT you're going to get or what token you were going to get?
Wait, what do you mean?
Last week, you were like, we were talking about, I can't remember which token it was, but you were like, I am looking for a 4x. This was this was last week, Monday. You said you're looking for a 4x, and then we all decided you need to go to NFTs, and then you were looking at NFTs. What came out of that to get the 4x that you're looking for?
No. I was just saying in general. That was more of a generalized thing. I'm not on the hunt for it. But if I'm buying NFTs, that's why I was saying, like, if I'm entering something, I'm looking for like I need a 4x basically. Like, there's no reason to buy an NFT for these like short swings. I mean, despite how people trade on Solana, I mean, you should see these people, like, some of the trading activity on the Bodagos floor is ridiculous. It's like people are looking for like short $100 swings that they can make money on, and it's like, what are you doing? But no, I would be like, I'm looking for the thing that can go up substantially, which is similar to what we just discussed with Fartcoin. I think like the key here is, how do you get Fartcoin that minimum needs to be like a 3x for that to be interesting, which is why I've just held it. Like, I didn't sell it up 50%. Went from 1 to 1.5 billion. Okay. Like, it basically, it's a bet on this cycle. That said, that portion of the portfolio could go down like 50% or something like that. And that's okay. That's just how that portion of the portfolio operates. But yeah, I think that when it comes to NFTs, those have to be long-term buys. Like, I'm not interested in just a quick scalp. That said, a quick scalp is not out of the possibility. Like, if Easy sends off a message just like, okay, this NFT is looking promising, think I'm going to enter on this thing, but I don't know. I'm more interested in longer term time, medium to longer term time frames with these.
Yeah, so I think now, actually, I mean, I think we because you don't have to catch the bottom, you can also catch the bottom as it goes up. And I feel that the feeling that I'm getting from the timeline is that certain people are positioning themselves for this medium to long term. Because if we're all bullish that ETH is going to go up, then there's going to be a ricochet effect across certain ETH tokens, across certain ETH NFTs. And I feel like that is the positioning that has been taking place for the last couple of weeks, and people are continuing to do. So I was just interested to see if first, like, you agree with that view, and if you do, which ones, at least on the Ethereum side, you'd be positioning for. Because I think that's a pretty no-brainer move right now. Position yourself for Ethereum to go up. It keeps testing 4K, can't quite break over it. But I think we do break over it if we also see Bitcoin go over like 120K. We've just seen just incredible inflows come in. So I don't think you need to be like a genius to predict the future here. That there's going to be a ricochet effect across ETH tokens and ETH NFTs, and just position yourself accordingly.
Well, I'm not moving my portfolio for the most part on any given day. Like, there's very minimal movement in my portfolio. So, like, I've been positioned. I have ETH NFTs. I have like a Moonbird, or the Moonbird Mythics. I have Lil Pudgies. I have Mutant Ape. So I think I have like $30,000 or $40,000 worth of like NFT exposure, basically, which is ridiculous. I just haven't sold it. So I'm positioned. Like, I have those assets I'm still holding on to. And so that's where I am at the moment. There's not generally a lot of movement from me on any given day. This swing trading on Hyperliquid is interesting and fun, but that's like that's $5,000. Like I'm not betting hundreds of thousands of dollars in my portfolio are not moving on a regular basis. Basically, it's just the same 5 to 10K moving over and over again. Sometimes I move, if we're going to include the meme coins, maybe there's $50,000 in my portfolio. I'd say up to $100,000 that's like eligible to be moved on any big upswing. That would be in the meme coin, NFT area of my portfolio. So I'm always looking at those different areas. And yeah, but I've just been positioned. Like, I rode a huge chunk of this down. I bought as we bottomed, and I've been just holding most of those positions throughout it. The only thing that varied here was as we were going up, I had moved some money to cash, and I started moving some of that back into crypto. And that has been a win for me. But and that's high risk. Like, I'm going to be honest, I'm not following any smart sort of portfolio management theory with that. I violated all my rules and moved more money back in just because I had a ton of conviction that crypto is moving up. And that was part of a lot of the initiatives that have been happening on the macro side, where I'm like, how the fuck can you fade what's going on with the US government right now in crypto? This is the most bullish regime that we've had literally ever. Part of it is concerning given the fact that there's an authoritarian element to that regime that's in place right now. But fuck that. I'm going to ignore that because I can't do anything about that. And instead, I'm paying attention to the fact that, wow, like, they are really going hard on crypto and building infrastructure built on blockchain technology, which I think is just absolutely insane. And incredible to see. And if you're betting against that, like, no, not everybody is positioned at this moment in time. So I still think we at least 2x from where we are in a very short period of time. And if you're not positioned for that, for me, I have, over $1 million that's sitting there. I think I got up to like 1.4 million that's literally exposed to say, hey, can we double again? And for me to make another 1.4 million would be huge. And yeah, my target for this cycle is how do I get to $5 million, if I'm being completely honest, on on that portion of my investment portfolio. And I'm not there. By the way, we're having incredible wicks right now. It's just very good. Very exciting wicks.
On your way to that 5 mil, getting there closer, getting closer.
But yeah, that's like what I'm positioning for. Is saying, how do we get out of the comments, Clemente? But so that's the like. So look at how much money I have. I mean, look, if you're working full time and you don't have $1 million, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sorry. No, but yeah, that's like the goal. I don't know. That's kind of how I'm trading it, and the best way to do that is towards the higher end. I think Bitcoin goes to 250. I think I'm heavily in Solana, which I'm sort of regretting. I think right now Solana, I'm not as bullish. ETH, I do think goes to 12,000, which is why I partially want to shift most of my Solana exposure to, or portion of it to ETH, but I don't know. I feel like I'm going to end up eating a bunch of taxes in the process of that, so I haven't done that. Yeah.
I got another one I'm looking at entry on today.
What's that?
Another token I'm looking at entry on today. ZORA. We were bullish on this last week, all the way up to 300 mil, back down to 200 now. 4.5x to $1 billion.
Interesting. Very interesting. Is that on Hyperliquid easy?
No.
Yes, sir.
Is it?
Oh yeah, spot and perps, baby.
For ZORA?
Right, you got to do your Hyperliquid knowledge. Oh, it's only perps. Sorry.
Only
My
perps, only
bad.
3x.
Only perps, 3x.
That means it was just added.
Yeah, hey, listen.
Dude, these candles are
Still
looking
morning.
nice right now, man. Today's a good day.
Dude, these are crazy. This is like
up.
crazy price
I
action.
don't want to say how much I'm up right now because I'd like to.
Marks the top.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like pretty crazy. I'm very interested to see if the S&P can break back above 630, which was the gap down we had on Friday, and resume an uptrend. Sol looks really good though. Like
ETH
this
is.
thing is.
I don't know, man. I think ETH looks better than let's see. Sol we broke above.
Yeah,
Sol's very nice. Yeah, this would.
This is the
definitely
level I want Bitcoin to hold though. Give me hold over 115, and we're like probably never going back below 115,000 ever again.
ETH next stop 3650. That's the level that I got. John, what do you got?
$13, dude. My target's 37.40.
On this swing?
I mean, just whereas if the 4-hour candle closes above 35.60, we target 37.40. Sol over 163, we target 169.5. Bitcoin, we basically have to hold over 114.8 for a move back to 117.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking at. Hype is the one that I think is going to surprise the most here because that still hasn't broken out of its down range. I do think it will here.
I mean, we have to have some pullback at some point on this, right?
I mean, the pullback was Friday, dude. We fucking dropped from, dude, yeah, this weekend in August 1st, we went from 3,800 to 3,350. Like, that's the pullback. Yeah, Nick, scroll back to July.
So I'm suddenly learning how to make real money.
Nick, if you want to see a replicable chart to this, scroll back to on the ETH chart to July.
Why don't you pull up the chart? Show us, easy.
July 17th is what I'm watching here. Because this is giving me July 17th vibes. So these are, let me get rid of some of these drawings. Let me get rid of some of these squiggles. But these are my long targets for short term. We're approaching this green line here, which is where I want to watch. When you break above this, we're going to 4K. Like
this is ETH. What's your target on that? 37 what?
37.40. 37.35, I guess. But this price action right here is showing me similar to this. You probably go up to here, consolidate, and then you get this leg.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I'm thinking here. We get the test, you get a euphoric move, chop some people out, break, and then we get 4K mid to late August.
Do we see an all-time high on Ethereum this year?
Yes.
Oh man, we're going to 12,000 with ETH.
This year.
4 months.
No. End of this year, all-time high, 100%.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if this candle right now can break above 36.50,
12,000's in play. Thank you all for listening to us today. It's been a wonderful show. We had a ton of fun live trading perps on Hyperliquid. We do this podcast Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms. Catch us on Spotify. Catch us on Apple. Also, watch us back on YouTube. See what we're talking about in real time as we make these